Good afternoon. So this is the continuation of my discussion about special journals, control accounts, and subsidiary ledgers. So this is a sort of summary ng ating mga napag-aralan sa mga naunang videos. So we have learned now that subsidiary ledgers, they are detailed sub-records of the control account and they are used in monitoring the individual composition of accounts. So, kagaya ng accounts receivable, di ba? Para ma-monitor mo yung balance ng mga customer na may utang sa'yo. Ba? So, it will be impractical na isang accounts receivable ledger lang sama-sama doon. No? So, you have subsidiary ledgers for each customer. We also learned about special journals. Ano? We learned about sales journal. So, doon mo i-record pag sales ay on account. No? So, any entry that will involve debit accounts, receivable, and credit sales. Cash receipts journal, basta nakatanggap ka ng cash, that will be recorded in the cash receipts journal. Purchases journal, it is used in recording purchases on account. Hindi lang ng merchandise, any purchases on account as long as meron kang credit accounts payable. And you also learned how to use the cash disbursement journal na ginagamit naman sa pagre-record ng lahat ng transaction involving cash disbursement o lahat ng may credit cash. And of course, yung general journal, gagamitin mo lang yan for transactions na hindi mo pwedeng i-record dun sa mga special journals. And we can also summarize yung advantages ng special journal. So, pwede ko sabihin, it saves time in journalizing and posting. Bakit? Kasi, sa journalizing na lang, hindi ka na paulit-ulit ng pagsusulat ng cash, sales, di ba? Kapag may special column, you just write the amount. Diba? And in posting also. Kasi di ba, if you notice, ang pinopost na lang at the end of the month ay yung total. No, hindi mo na siya ipopost isa-isa kagaya nung sa general journal. And it also makes division of labor possible. Kasi kapag general journal lang, abay isang tao lang ang magre-record. Pero if you have special journals, pwede mo yung hati-hatiin sa iba't ibang tao. Iba yung sa sales journal, iba yung magre-record sa purchases journal, and so on and so forth. So let us proceed now to the voucher system. So this is an example of a voucher. So ano ba yung voucher? So kapag nakatanggap ng bill or invoice yung isang business entity which is an evidence na may utang siya, magpe-prepare siya ng voucher like this one. This is just a general format voucher. So it details magkano yung involved na amount, tapos sino yung payee. When we say payee, yung pinagkakautangan at kung magkano at para saan yung ibabayad. And then meron kang mga signatory sa baba. Yung signatories, hindi siya agad nafi-fill upan. Nafi-fill upan lang siya kapag magre-release ka na ng cheque. So this is an example of a payment voucher here. So, how do we understand yung process ng voucher system? So, it starts when a company receives a bill, let us say Meralco. So, kagaya ng sabi ko kanina, pag naka-receive siya ng bill, he will prepare or the entity will prepare a voucher. So, i-attach niya yan. Lahat ng evidence ng pagkakautang niya, more common, pinaka-common dyan yung bill, i-attach doon sa payment voucher or doon sa vouchers payable. So, i-attach mo siya dyan. And then, habang hindi pa siya due date, ilalagay mo siya sa file, Like let us say, file cabinet, So, ilalagay mo yung voucher na hindi pa due date dun sa file, Unpaid voucher files. So, yan, lagay natin siya. So, kapag malapit na yung due date, saka mo lang ulit kukunin, yung voucher dun sa unpaid voucher file. Yan. So, kunwari, due date na. O yan, kinuha mo na. Then, magpe-prepare ka ng cheque. Yan. Tapos, kapag nag-prepare na ng cheque, saka mo papipirmahan yung payment voucher or yung voucher, 'di ba may signatories yan sa baba, no? So papipirmahan mo yan sa mga higher ups, no? Kapag approve na yung voucher, no, saka yung cheque, syempre yung cheque is ipapadala mo dun sa pinagkakautangan nyo, no? Actually, yung payment voucher, ilang copies yan, ano? Yung one copy niyan may be sent dun sa supplier na binabayaran mo. And another copy will be kept by the company. At pag nabayaran na siya, by the way, tatatakan yan, no? Doon sa voucher, lalagyan ng tatak na malaki, paid, no? Para hindi siya magamit ulit, no? Baka mamaya magkadoble-doble ng bayad o kaya naman ay magamit sa pagnanakaw yung voucher. So once a voucher is paid, tinatatakan yan ng paid. Minsan nga binubutasan pa, no, ng puncher or anything, no? At pagka natatakan na siya ng paid, ilalagay na ulit siya sa filing cabinet, but this time doon na siya mapupunta sa paid voucher files. So, ganun po yung proseso ng voucher system. So, let us have a demonstration ng voucher system. What I mean here is yung paggamit ng voucher register at check register. Okay, so we have here, ito yung voucher register. Kung makikita nyo, no, para rin lang siyang special journal, ano? Ito yung voucher register. Yung voucher register, pwede mo siyang isipin na kapalit ng purchases journal, no? Sa purchases journal, 'di ba? Ginagamit siya sa lahat ng entries involving credit accounts payable. Pag gumagamit ka ng voucher system, ang gagamitin natin is the account voucher payable. And we have a special column here. Yan, for voucher payable. On the other hand, yung check register, pwede mo siyang isipin na kapalit ng cash disbursement journal. No? Kasi in most cases, ang ginagamit ng mga company sa pag-disburse ng pera is cheque. Okay? So, ayan yung check register. So, actually, yung procedures niya, para ka rin lang gumagamit ng special journal. Diba? So, for example, ito yung ating first transaction. Let us say it involves, let us make it step by step. So, kapag naka-receive ka ng bill from a supplier, you will enter it dun sa voucher register. You will enter the number and the date. By the way, yung voucher number is, of course, in accordance sa numerical sequence. Payee, kung kanino ka may utang, Rodriguez Company. And then this part, yan, yung date, paid, and check number, fifilapan mo lang yan pag binayaran mo na. So, nakatanggap ka pala ng bill, ang fifilapan mo this part, yan. So, let us say it is a bill for merchandise. So, debit purchases, 35,000 and credit voucher payable, 35,000. Okay, next transaction. Let us say December 3, you had another transaction involving freight. Okay, so as usual, number, date, payee, you fill it up. And then, debit, transportation in, 3,000. Credit, vouchers payable, 3,000. Okay? Next transaction, let us say, babayad ka na December 5 kay Rubinos Freight. Okay? Pag magbabayad ka na, you will write here yung check number ng ibinayad mo, yan, at yung petsa kung kailan ka nagbayad, let us say December 5. And aside from that, syempre, magsusulat ka sa check register. Yan, dito yung date at yung number ng check na pinambayad mo. And then, yung payee. And yung voucher number na binabayaran mo, pwede mong balikan yung voucher register natin. Ito siya. So, that is voucher number 122. So, dito yan. And then the entry, no? So, debit voucher payable, 3,000. Credit, cash in bank, 3,000. Next transaction, December 5. Umutang ka ng office supplies kay Escutin Incorporated. So, sa voucher register yon. So, again, the details here, date, voucher number, and the payee, and then the entry, debit office supplies, 12,000, and credit vouchers payable, 12,000. Next transaction, by the way, pag nakita nyo yung tuldok-tuldok na ganyan, di ba, sa book, ibig sabihin may mga transactions dyan, hindi lang pinakita. Let us say the next transaction ay December 9. Magbabayad ka ng utang kay Rodriguez Company. Ito siya. And let us say, meron siyang discount na 700. So as usual, dito sa voucher register, i-update mo yung check number at yung pecha kung kailan ka nagbayad. Plus, syempre, sa check register. So, biglain na natin. Ayan. So, pagka after 1 month, kagaya din lang siya ng ibang special journal, ano? So, after 1 month, kukunin mo rin lang yung mga total, di ba? Ganon din lang siya. Kukunin mo yung mga total at ipopost sa mga kanya-kanyang what do you call this? Kanya-kanyang ledger. Okay? And by the way, nakalimutan ko din, kapag meron kang involved na payee, yan, Rodriguez, Rubinos, Escutin, kailangan mo ring i-update individually yung kanilang mga subsidiary ledgers, which I forgot to demonstrate here, So, lalagay ka rin ng check mark dito kapag na-update mo na siya. Yan, dito, maglagay ka dyan. Dito din, kay Nancy, kay Espinosa. No? So, kagaya din lang siya ng ibang special journal. No? I think the only difference here is, 1, you are using checks in disbursement, and 2, kapag may payment, hindi lang yung check register ang ina-update, pati yung voucher register under the column ng date paid and check number. Okay, so to sum up the voucher system, no? So laman natin na yung voucher register is a substitute to purchases journal at yung check register ay substitute naman sa cash disbursement journal. So, the voucher, nagpakita ko kanina nung sample ng voucher, makikita mo dun yung details ng mga liability. At meron tayong dalawang file ng voucher, yung unpaid at saka paid voucher file. And then, this one, ito na-discuss ito sa book, So, minsan, nagka-cancel tayo ng voucher. Kailan? Siyempre, upon full payment, ika-cancel mo na yung voucher. Diba? Nabanggit ko kanina, tatatakan mo ng paid. And then, meron pang ibang instance. Halimbawa, kapag may returns and allowances. So, halimbawa, yung utang mo ay 80,000, nagbalik ka ng item kasi may depekto. So, yung voucher ng original amount ng utang mo, ika-cancel mo at gagawa ka ng bagong voucher for the new amount of your utang. The same is true with partial payment, no? So, kapag may partial payment ka, you have to cancel out yung original voucher and make another voucher for the amount of the partial payment. That ends my discussion about special journals and control accounts, subsidiary ledgers, and the voucher system. I am leaving you with this quote from the Bible, Proverbs chapter 18, verse 15. The heart of the intelligent acquires learning, the ears of the wise search for knowledge. Thank you for your attention and enjoy learning.